Guys, today we're going to Ludlow Castle. I hope you enjoy. It's going to be an amazing tour, and it's a massive castle, so enjoy. As you arrive to Ludlow, I must say there's alright parking, but it's not amazing, so make sure you pre-plan on the parking. But there is a car park at the top of the hill, which is here. It's not very big, but it's free. There was a beautiful house here called Dinham House, and some beautiful Tudor houses. Here we walk on the main path alongside some blossom trees, not through this door. Here we see this tentacle looking thing. Can you explain what it is in the comments, please? Here you continue round on the path to these trees. There's some very more nice scenic Tudor houses there. As you come up onto the entrance to the castle, there's a nice cannon. Here is the entrance to Ludlow Castle. Here we come up on this suit of armour. It's undoubtedly my favourite part. Here is where we get our tickets, and then finally walk out into the castle. Here we walk on, but in the background you can see there is an Easter egg chair where you can take some nice pictures like these. I apologise for the bumpy recording, I'll try and sort it out in future. Here you can see an old bridge. Here we enter the keep. As you go through the door, you come across this board that says the Judge's Lodging. As you walk through this door and then go through the crack in the wall, you can finally see the interior of the massive, beautiful castle. Here we walk upon the old but new chapel of St. Mary Magdalene. It was rather large compared to some of the other buildings. The base shape of the chapel is cylinder, as you'll see here. There is an info board in the middle of the room. I didn't capture much, but pause to see it. There's also this rock which seems to have a very old fainted cross on it. As we exit, we go to another part of the castle. Remember, you don't have to follow our exact steps, just go at your own pace and go where you like. Here I turn and I go up the stairs. There's not necessarily much up there, but it's a nice view once you're there. Then I go back downstairs into the room in front of me. Here we come upon another sign and get ready to pause if you'd like to read. Here we walk into another room which is basically the same, but again, cool to explore. There's also a very nice view out that window. From there we go down this narrow, slightly dark corridor. That pathway there leads up to another small room. This is that pathway. Again, there is a beautiful view. Then I walk back out and go to another room. From here, there is another entrance and another beautiful view. As you go further up, you can see there is a toilet. I find it very fascinating how long the chute was. As you walk back on yourself, there is another view of the castle. As we go back on ourselves, we walk out into a much larger room. As we go through this door, it leads us out, and then we walk back through another door, and then we see the bottom of this viewing platform. Here we walk out onto the grass again to eventually make our way up to that wooden platform. Here we start to come upon another sign and a set of stairs. For the sign you might have to zoom in. Here we go up these stairs, which again is a large flight of stairs, so I'll cut to the top. I didn't get much of my recording, but there is a wooden decking. You can get some good shots from up there. Then we head back downstairs. I'll cut to the bottom. As we leave that block of the castle, we head into another part of the castle. There you can see a chute. It goes really far back and they likely would have used it for throwing stuff down it back in medieval times. Here we enter another part of the castle, yet again. That sign we just went past said there were secret corridors throughout the castle wall. Here I walk upon the kitchen part of the castle. Here we walk to one of the first courtyards. There is a beautiful well and a massive tower. There is even a cool dragon symbolising Wales. Here I come upon another sign. Here we walk upon another part of the castle. There's a little chute there where you can drop down into the area, or you can just take the stairs. There is also this spooky corridor that we went through, however it only leads to the other side of the room. Then we headed back up and went back into the main courtyard, or the main area you might as well call it. Now we head to that tower I recently pointed out. First, I walk to the middle bit. The middle floor in between the top one isn't as large as you'd think, however, it is decently big. Now we go to the top, undoubtedly the most scenic part of the whole castle. I'll cut to the top. Now we're at the top, you can even look down and see the room where you were just in. Or you can follow that wooden board and it will take you even higher up into that little bit. That view is undoubtedly one of the most beautiful views I have ever seen. Then we head back down. Now we're down, we cross the bridge we went on at the start, and then we head to that tower over there. That is the ice house we'll see in a minute. As you walk into the thin but tall tower, there's a sign telling you about the tower. Its name is Mortimer's Tower. Get ready to pause if you want to read the sign. Beware, the steps in there are very thin. This is the sign. Here you can see behind the door you can go up the steps. They are very thin, so beware. We're going to the middle floor, so I'll cut to that. Here is the middle floor. Then we head back to the stairs to go up to the top. At the top, you can see the wall. It truly does feel like you're a warrior standing on the wall when you're up there. Here you can see us from our perspective and someone else's perspective from the bottom of the wall. Then we head back down the stairs, out that door, and then we come down the stairs to the ice house. This is the ice house. It's basically nothing but a cube underground where they would have kept the food cool. It's just a room. We head back out under the bridge due to there being steps the other side. As you get up to the top, you can go straight out or you can turn. I prefer just to go straight out. There is a fancy pub if you turn though. As you make your way to the gift shop, you can see some small ruins over there. There is genuinely nothing in them. They are very cool though, and I wouldn't waste my time with you guys showing you them. I'm pretty sure there is a cafe at the top as well, however we didn't go in. I'm not completely sure. As we walk in, there are toilets to one side and some nice helmets which I'll put pictures up of them on the screen right now. As you walk into the gift shop, there is various different things, varying from plastic hats, beanies, and teddy toys. There are even these cool pictures on the way out.
They'll be real, but they'll be cheap ones.
Is the end of the castle tour.
So the gems will be real, but they'll be cheap ones.
Hi guys, that's it for today's video, our tour around Ludlow Castle. I'm going to be going to the town centre and the church, so I hope you enjoy, and I hope you watch those videos as well. But I hope you enjoy. Bye.